All right, shalom, shalom. Welcome back. It's been a minute since I did a lesson. But before we begin, we want to give all praises, power, glory, thanks, and everything to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Kakwadash. Double honors to the elders, the prophets, the apostles, the wise men that are out here pushing this truth to the four corners of the earth, risking their lives and freedom, of course, but to also, give thanks to, our forefathers and things like that. So this lesson, this is going to be an introduction to the meat, all right? Because I know a lot of us are on milk and we're still learning stuff like that. This is the intro on the meat. I will put this lesson together for me, and he been teaching me things. So he told me to come share it with the rest of Yasharallah. So I'll just name it. The renewing of the mind. It's by me, but all credit goes to the Most High. So I just put a servant of the Most High. So what is milk and meat, right? So milk is the understanding, the basis on the lower level, right? So when people ask me, well, why do you wear your fringes? Well, we wear our fringes, as a remembrance to the covenant. So First Peter 2:2 says that newborn babes desire the sincere milk of the word that you may grow thereby. So a lot of us, been in truth about 5-6 years, but we still new, right? We still on the milk. No worries. But it's just what it is. So the meat, understanding the word on a higher spiritual level, right? So you start to feel like you're free from bondage, which I'll go into detail about. But it says 1 Corinthians 3:2, I have fed you with milk and not with meat, for hitherto you were notable to bear it, neither yet now are ye able. Because you'll understand in the lesson, because a lot of these things our people not gonna understand. Too many people just they just worldly. You know what I'm saying? They just in that carnal mindset, which is which is will equal death, right? It's an enmity to the Most High. But we'll get into it. So how do you transition from milk to meat, right? So how we go from drinking milk to eating meat? You wake up. What does that mean, right? So Romans 8:6 and 8 says, "For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace." Like I said, if all you're thinking about is, for example, sex, drugs, money, things that have no profit with your spirit, you're gonna end up, being just spiritually dead. But also, you can end up dying. You know what I'm saying? Because the carnal mind is enmity against the Most High, for it is not subject to the law of the Most High, neither indeed can be. So then they that are in the flesh cannot please the Most High. They can't please him because they don't know him. They don't know his laws. They don't know his statutes. They don't know his commandments, right? Everybody say they pray to him, but they don't really spend time with him, right? They treat him like a genie. So become aware that you are a spirit and operate accordingly. Well, what does that mean, right? So we can all agree, right, that the law is the light, right? Proverbs 6:23. For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light, and reproofs of instruction are the way of life, right? So he tells you right there, straightforward. The law is literally light, right? So people who studied astronomy and things like that, light goes based off a spectrum, right? So that's what the law is, right? For instance, right, it says, right, have you zoom in, it says alpha point to omega, right? So that is just telling you, remember what he told you in the word, I am alpha and omega. He's the whole spectrum, right? So example, let's get example of sinning. 1 John 3:4. Whosoever committeth sin transgresseth also the law. For sin is the transgression of the law. So sorry if it's in the picture like that, but you got the verse right there. But we can explain it on a carnal mindset, right? We could say, well, sin is the transgression of the law. You sin if you steal or you cheat or stuff like that. Yes. But what does that look like spiritually, right? So when you're looking at the spectrum, sin is just a transgression of the law. So if the law, this is the law, if the law is light, then when we transgress, we just go down a vibration, right? Or go down a spectrum. So that's why it says pride cometh before destruction and lowly with the shame, right? Because it is. And we'll get a little bit more examples. So consciousness 101. Ephesians 2:1 and 5. And you hath he quickened who were dead in trespass and sins, wherein in times past ye walked according to the courses of this world, according to the prince of the power of the air, the spirit that now worketh in the children of disobedience. So we were dead. We were spiritually dead, right? We were doing whatever we wanted to do. It was no limit, right? Live how you live. You only live once, just like Drake say. Among whom also we all had our conversation in times past in the lust of our flesh, fulfilling the desires of the flesh and of the mind, were by nature the children of wrath, even as others. Right? We were just living in our flesh. We was doing whatever we wanted. But Yahweh, who is rich in mercy, for his great love wherewith he loved us, even when we were dead in sins, hath quickened us together with Hamashiach. So he winks at our ignorance. I can't remember what verse it is, but it's another verse that says he winks at our ignorance. We didn't know any better, right? We were just spiritually dead, just running around doing whatever. So because he has mercy upon us, he chose us from the beginning, and he's teaching us now. All right, so example. So let's get Numbers 15:38 through 40. So just like I was saying before, a good thing I put it in here. Let me see. Sorry. So let's get Numbers 15:38 through 40. It says, "Speak unto the children of Yasharallah, and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments throughout their generations, and that they put upon the fringe of the borders a ribbon of blue. And it shall be unto you for a fringe, that you may look upon it and remember all the commandment of Yahweh, and do them, and that ye seek not after your own heart and your own eyes, after which ye used to go a whoring, that ye may remember and do all my commandments, and be holy unto your power. I am Yahweh your power, which brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your power. I am Yahweh your power." Right. So you can explain it on a carnal level, right? But what people got to understand is this: that spectrum that we see. Hold on, let's go back. That spectrum that we see right here, right? That ribbon of blue. That blue is what? Acceptance, well, it's willingness, acceptance, reason, love, joy, and love, joy in the middle. That's why we do it. But to understand it spiritually, we keep that ribbon of blue to remind us, hey, don't drop your spectrum, right? Don't drop a spectrum. We have to stay close to the Most High, because the Most High is purple. So we got to stay close to the Most High as much as we can, right? And that's a reminder, hey, don't lower your spirit, stay the same. But carnally, we just say, oh, we just wear it to remember the covenant, right? So let's get Amos 3:3, right? So Amos 3:3 says, "Can two walk together unless they agree?" Well, if you're not on the same spiritual plane or close to it, then you're not going to be able to relate, right? So that's why I say, when you're unequally yoked, somebody is at a lower spectrum than what they're supposed to be, and you're at a high spectrum, and you're not going to see eye to eye. Just like if you try to teach the word to somebody, and they're not getting it, they're not at that spectrum, or they're not going to be able to achieve it, right? So let's get 2 Corinthians. Let's see. I should have prepared these beforehand, so forgive me. Close though. And Romans. Or say 2 Corinthians. 6:14 through 18. All right, so 14 through 18 says, "Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers, for what fellowship hath righteousness with unrighteousness, and what communion hath light with darkness?" So you're in the light when you're at that certain spectrum. You start to be in the dark when you lower your spectrum, right? "And what concord hath Hamashiach with Belial?" Or okay, just read through it. Yeah, that was the main point, right? Then it starts to get a little harder, right? So when you're trying to explain Deuteronomy 28 and 54, I'll try to explain it, but it's different layers inside of it. It's a lot of like layers inside of it. But it will be coming from the curses, right? So Deuteronomy 28:54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children which he shall leave, right? So when a man leaves his family, he's the head. The man is closer to the Most High than the woman is, like by threat spiritually. It's just what it is, right? Nobody's equal. That's why the man's the head. So if you remove the man that is the head out of the home, for example, right? What happens? Well, now the woman would be the next person in line, right? But she's not at the threshold to be able to lead, right? Just like, for example, a woman cannot raise men, or yeah, can't raise a man, right? From boys, because even though that kid or child, even if he's like 14, his spectrum or his um, vibration is going to always be higher than his mother. Why? Because he is a man. But he's not going to be able to get his full potential of being a man if a woman raises him. So he has to have some type of father figure, right? But also, the Most High is a father to the fatherless. So, that works out. And in Isaiah 4:1, it's talking about seven women clinging to a man. Well, when your vibration is high, you start to attract a lot of things, right? That's what people call the law of attractiveness. When your vibration is high enough, you attract things that are the same. So women are helpmeets, right? So they're adaptive. So they have to adapt to the man or get close enough in that spectrum to hang with the man. It's just what it is, right? So the man is the head for a reason. You knock the head off, the whole body falls. So tools for us, right? So since what we have to understand is we're just a spirit in a body. You tell your body what to do. Your body doesn't tell you what to do. But the Most High gave us tools to help us, right? So emotions. Emotions are a tool. Feelings are a tool. Why? Well, just like off that spectrum, emotion is just what? Energy in motion, right? So when I feel angry, I should not let my anger control me. Why? Because anger is just an emotion. You feel it, you let it run its course, and release it. Right? And that's how you learn to understand, because people got anger issues and they let their body control what to do. When they get angry, they like to fight. Nowadays, they like to shoot. But we need to learn how to control that. Right? So, sex. Sex is a tool. Sex is how we reproduce. That's how we keep our bloodline going. But a lot of people are dealing with lust, right? Which is desire, which is a low frequency, and they let these tools control them, right? Like sex, like money, etc. So we have to understand these are nothing but tools, right? Gotcha. So what is the summary, right? Because it's like, oh, this is a lot of information. This is a lot. Yes, it is, right? And if you have questions, feel free to reach out to me. What we have to understand is opera operates on a spiritual timing. We got to operate the same way. If we are supposed to be heirs to the throne or close with the Most High, his inheritance, we have to be close to him, right? We got to operate in the spirit, right? So we got to remember that spectrum. We got to remember, hey, we got to operate that like this. What is going on is you have to be aware that you're just a spirit in a body. So when people are thinking about lust, it should get to the point where, you know how you got a gnat messing with your ear and you just flick it off? That's how we're supposed to be. A lot of people fall for lust. Like, ooh, I got to go, have intercourse because, I feel it in my body. Or this woman look good, so I want to have intercourse with her. No. Sex is just a tool. And that's why you have to try every spirit, because there are a lot of wicked people out here, but people fall for their looks and they get bamboozled saying, oh, how did I not know this? Well, you didn't know this because you wasn't trying to figure out her spirit. All right. So right now we don't have, a lot of people have spiritual eyes and they can see it, but right now we can't. So the Most High writes the Bible in a way to where we can understand it carnally. So when we can understand it carnally, then we can start understanding it spiritually later on when we start getting the meat. Right. So step number 2, which should have been number 1, really, wake up, right? For the men, mainly, we got to feed the sheep and save them from the slaughter. Same thing for women. They can go teach other women, you know what I'm saying? But we have to teach our people, hey, wake up, right? That's why they go so hard with putting stuff in our food and X, Y, and Z, right? Because they want you to keep you at a low vibration. That's why they push and whoredom and porn and all of these things, because they want you to be controlled by your body. You control your body. You are nothing but a spirit in a body. All right. So the last one, behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. So what does it mean? Does it mean a lot of things, right? So, but for this lesson, we're going to take it as, now that you know what it means to be conscious, what it means to be awake, what it means to be in tune with the Most High, and I'll give a little bit more examples, we have to be aware of it, right? So Let's give one or two of them, right? So us as people, just in general, we're materialistic, right? So if somebody comes by, I'm in the club, right? Shouldn't be anyways. Somebody step on my shoes, okay? And I'm just like, yo, man, you stepped on my shoes, right? And I let my anger get the best of me. I might try to fight him or harm him. Another person might be carnal minded too and be trying to fight me, right? That's letting my flesh win. What I'm supposed to do is say, hey, he stepped on my shoe. It's okay. He made a mistake. This is nothing but a material. It doesn't phase anything, right? I'm just having a human experience. It's cool. It's shoes, right? And if I'm on the other end, I say, and the dude say, hey, you stepped in my shoes, and he's angry. Well, I'm gonna say, you know what? I apologize. I'm very sorry, right? Why? Because a soft answer turns away wrath. So when you give a soft answer, you know, because you understand, hey, this person is having an internal conflict with himself. He's at a low vibration. I don't want to lower myself, right? Or talk to a fool because it's going to make me look like a fool. It's going to make me lower my vibration. So I don't want to do that. That's all the Bible is. The Bible is about consciousness, of course. It's about our people and stuff like that. So when people be on the street teaching, not everybody, you know, there's brothers out there pushing the truth to authenticity and sincerity. But when people just say, hey, yo, you're not going to make it to the kingdom because you look Asian. Well, you don't know that. In the flesh, he could be Asian or whatever. But in the spirit, he can be in the same set as us, right? There's a lot of people that have a certain threshold, right? So just like we say, let your light shine. He means that actually, right? Like I said, we're just spirits, right? So that electromagnetic stuff that's going on with you, right? Electromagnetic, it'll attract people, right? But it also attract wickedness, right? So just like imagine being in a room by yourself or being in a room, in a big dark room, and you turn on a lamp. Is it going to shine for everything? No. You're going to see the lamp, see the light as far as a distance, but you're going to be bumping into stuff. And that's what we do in life. We're just bumping into people who are spiritually dead. That's why David says, blessed are those that have the eyes to see and ears to hear. So Hamashiach spoke in parables. It was just because you have to understand, we're just being conscious. And that's why he says, ye are gods. Yes, we're just little judges. That's it. We're like an avatar for the Most High, basically, for the Israelite men. But we're just avatars. So that's why when Sarah called Abraham Lord, well, because technically he is. So, and that's what goes on. And then people just got to understand that life. So then you understand man, woman, and the serpent, right? And I'll do separate lessons for the men, and then I'll do separate lessons for the women. But this is just an introduction, right? Not to get off track. And if you have any other questions, like I said, feel free to reach out to me. But other than that, I want to give all praises, power, glory, thanks, and everything to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Kakodash, Wa Abad Ball, Shalom.